this tutorial, we're going to show you in depth how to use the inventory feature of ComputerCut and the invoicing feature of ComputerCut. The first step you want to do is you want to make sure that all of your information on your account is correct. So open up ComputerCut and click on the My Home button, and this will take you to the Members site. Then scroll down to your account information, click on that, and make sure that all of the information in here is correct. You can also upload a picture of your logo that will show up on your invoices whenever you create an invoice. Once you've done that, go to the inventory link and click on that, and you will need to put in your password. And that gets you into the inventory section of the Members site. Once in there, as you can see, this is where you can put installer codes for your installers that they will have to put in before they cut a car. You can store your film rolls. You can do reports. And then also you can require a work order number before they cut, or require a VIN number before they cut. So let's go back to the installer codes. We'll click on here, and as you can see, I've already put in an installer, Bob. I gave him a code of 01. You want the codes to be fairly short so that they don't have to take a bunch of time putting it in there. And also, if you want, you can delete this, but this would be where you would add a new code. So I put this code in here and put a name for him and Bob, and the installer code is stored. Then go back to inventory, and in here you can put your film rolls. In this case, I've already put in HPC 32, and then you can put in the roll number for that particular roll. So we'll click on here. So we put in a roll number, HPC 32, and then the roll number of that roll. Film left. We started out with 100, but it deducts as you cut from the roll. We've already cut a couple of windows from the roll, so it's deducted it. So we have 75 feet left. You can put in a low warning. In this case, I put in 30 feet. So once the roll amount left is less than 30 feet, I will be getting pop-ups that will tell me that the inventory is running low and that I will need to order more film. In here you would put your film width and the cost per square foot for the film. And I also put in a second roll number. So we'll go back up to inventory. And then down here, if I want the installer to put in a work order, I would check this box, or a VIN number. I wanted him to put in VIN number, so I have the VIN number box. Okay, so we'll go back to the vehicle. In this case, we pulled up an Explorer, so I'll select the two front windows, hit cut, and then in here I'll hit cut once again. And from the drop-down list, your installer can select whatever roll he's doing. In this case, we're going to use the Supreme. Put in his installer code, so it's Bob cutting this car, so we'll put in 01. He's not required to have a work order, and then we'll put in a VIN number in here. And click cut. So he's now cut that vehicle. So once you get done cutting this car, you can then create an invoice for it by going down here and clicking on Invoice. And as you can see, it pops up a generic invoice in here, and here is where the logo is uploaded. So you would just put your customer information in here, and an invoice number, and the quantity, 1 Ford Explorer, and then if you want to include the roll that was used, you can click on here and then select the roll that was used. So in this case, we used the Supreme 50. So we'll click copy, and then you just put in your unit price and the amount, and then save it. So once you've saved it, as you can see down here, keeps a list of all your invoices and jobs that you've cut. Click on here, and there you go. Your Ford Explorer, the date, and the roll number that was used. So now let's go back up to inventory, and let's run some reports, or take a look at some reports here. So we'll click on report, and the first one is film utilization by roll. We'll click on that, click process, and it brings up the rolls that we have in here, the number of times they've been cut, the amount of film that was used. Film utilization by installer shows that the Bob has cut 6 cuts. Film utilization detail, click on here, and it shows the date, the pattern, the installer, the roll, work order if they were required, the VIN number, and the amount of film used. So for instance, in the cut that we did down here, it shows that we cut the Ford Explorer Supreme 50, the VIN number, and the amount of film that was used. Now if we want a little bit more detail, then we can go into film utilization by work order. Click on here, click process, and it shows us the date, the vehicle that was cut, who cut it, the roll, the VIN number, the square footage of film that was used, and the cost. So that's how you would create your inventory and your invoices. A little tip here, on your film rolls, only put the rolls that you are going to be cutting from in here. Don't put your total inventory of rolls in here, because it's just too much for your installer to select. So only put in the rolls that you will actually be cutting from for that day or week or whatever. So there's a little more in-depth instruction on how to use the inventory and the invoicing feature. If you have any questions, please call our technical support line, 800-348-3193.